The 90s gave us some of the greatest alternative rock and grunge bands of all time. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Radiohead ruled the airwaves, but not every band managed to stay in the spotlight. Some had just one massive hit before disappearing into obscurity. Yet those one-hit wonders still bring back memories of late-night MTV marathons, CD collections stacked with alt-rock gems, and the golden days of radio. From anthems that made us sing along in the car to quirky tracks that felt like instant classics, these songs define the decade, even if the bands behind them didn't stick around. So let's take a trip back to the 90s and revisit 10 bands that had their moment of glory before fading away. And hey, if you love rock nostalgia, don't forget to subscribe for more. If you were anywhere near a radio in 1999, you probably heard Steal My Sunshine on repeat. This laid-back, sun-soaked anthem by the Canadian duo Len, led by siblings Mark and Sharon Costanzo, felt like pure summer in a song. With its mix of hip-hop beats, dreamy vocals, and a catchy chorus, it quickly became a worldwide hit, reaching the top 10 in multiple countries. But just as fast as they appeared, Len seemed to vanish. Their follow-up albums failed to gain traction, and they faded from the mainstream. However, Mark Costanzo stayed in the music industry as a producer, and the band even released an album in 2012, It's Easy If You Try. Still, Steal My Sunshine remains a 90s summer classic, instantly transporting listeners back to a time of carefree vibes and rollerblading down the boardwalk. Some songs just feel like the late 90s, and Save Tonight is one of them. Released in 1997, this acoustic-driven hit by Swedish singer-songwriter Eagle Eye Cherry became an instant classic. Its bittersweet lyrics about making the most of the night before saying goodbye resonated with listeners worldwide, and the song dominated radio stations and MTV. Coming from a musical family, his father was jazz trumpeter Don Cherry, and his half-sister is Nina Cherry, Eagle Eye had all the makings of a lasting artist. Though he never quite recaptured the magic of Save Tonight, he continued making music, particularly in Sweden. In 2018, he released the album Streets of You. Some songs just ooze 90s cool, and Sex and Candy is one of them. With its moody, hypnotic vibe and cryptic lyrics, this 1997 hit by Marcy Playground became an anthem for the alt-rock misfits of the decade. The song dominated the airwaves, spending 15 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Modern Rock chart. Pretty impressive for a track that sounded like a daydream wrapped in a velvet haze. Though they never matched the success of Sex and Candy, Marcy Playground continued to release music, including the 2009 album Leaving Wonderland. In a fit of rage, they still perform occasionally, keeping their cult following alive. Some songs just stick with you, and Breakfast at Tiffany's is one of them. This 1995 hit by Deep Blue Something had everything: a catchy melody, quirky lyrics, and a nostalgic movie reference. It shot up to #5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became an instant sing-along classic. But after that, silence. The band never found another hit and faded into obscurity. However, they remained active and even released a new EP in 2015. Few songs wrapped up a night quite like Closing Time by Semisonic. Released in 1998, this bar-closing anthem became a massive hit, peaking at #1 on the Billboard Modern Rock chart. With its unforgettable line, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end," it quickly became the go-to track for graduations, last calls, and life's big transitions. Though the band faded from the mainstream after their follow-up album, frontman Dan Wilson became a hugely successful songwriter, penning hits for Adele, Someone Like You, and Taylor Swift, Treacherous. Semisonic reunited in 2020 and released the EP You're Not Alone. Some songs just sound massive, and In the Meantime by Spacehog is one of them. Released in 1995, this British alt-rock banger mixed gritty guitars, spacey vibes, and glam rock swagger, making it an instant standout. The song dominated rock radio, and their debut album, Resident Alien, sold over 1 million copies. But the follow-up flopped. The band never recaptured that first spark, though they reunited in 2008 and released As It Is on Earth in 2013. Still, In the Meantime remains an undeniable 90s classic. With a melancholic vibe and haunting sample of B.B. King, this 1996 alt-rock oddity became an unlikely hit. Primitive radio gods seemingly came out of nowhere, climbed the modern rock charts, and then disappeared. They continued releasing albums, including Man-Made Sun in 2016, but they never again found mainstream success. Yes, the song with the weirdest title ever. 1993 by Crash Test Dummies was bizarre, but it worked. With its deep baritone vocals and eerie storytelling, the track became a global hit, even earning Grammy nominations. However, their follow-up albums flopped, and a car accident involving lead singer Brad Roberts didn't help their momentum. The band continued making music and still occasionally tours, particularly in Canada. If the 90s had a sound, Soul Coughing was right in the middle of it. With their funky bass lines, spoken word lyrics, and jazzy beats, they were alternative rock's weird cousin. Their biggest moment, Super Bon Bon, 1996. A quirky, bass-heavy jam that got stuck in your head whether you wanted it to or not. Despite a cult following, the band never broke into the mainstream. By 2000, they were done. And frontman Mike Doughty went solo, building a respectable career with multiple albums. Few songs capture the hopeful, rebellious energy of the late 90s like You Get What You Give by New Radicals. Released in 1998, the song's infectious melody and uplifting lyrics made it a standout hit. However, just as quickly as they arrived, frontman Greg Alexander disbanded the group, choosing to focus on songwriting for artists like Santana and Ronan Keating. Even though they only released one album, Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too, the song remains an anthem of the era and even saw a revival when the band briefly reunited to perform it at Joe Biden's 2021 inauguration. The 90s were a wild ride for alternative rock. Some bands became legends, while others flashed bright and faded fast. But even if these bands only had one hit, their songs still bring back memories of mixtapes, MTV, and late-night sing-alongs. Music trends change, but a great song, that lasts forever. Which 90s one-hit wonder is your favorite? Tell us in the comments, and if you want more rock nostalgia, don't forget to like and subscribe.